And we are back. Welcome to the Soapbox, where people who work, volunteer, and care about recovery tell us who they are and what they're most passionate about. My name is Rich Jones, RN, and I represent parentingyourchildinrecovery.com and the home website, secondstarts.com. That's the number 2, NDSTARTS.com. Today, my guest is Mark Smith. Now, this is close to me. Mark is the founder and our leader in the MPowerMe TV network. He's a father, pastor, and a former pro wrestler, which I hope we touch on us a little bit in the future here, and a substance abuse survivor. Mark, hello, and how are you, sir?
Well, good, brother. I'm so glad to be here, and it's always great to be with a friend and talk to a great audience. And I've really been enjoying your show, and I'm glad when we talk about MPowerMe TV. I love the fact that we call ourselves a family. And I just feel like it's an honor to be part of your family, Rich. I really do appreciate it.
Mark, I appreciate that so much for even having the faith to bring me on and let me be involved. I appreciate it so much. I do. Mark, as usual, I like to start this show by asking everybody to give me that Cliff Notes version. Tell me who Mark is, how he got here, a little bit about himself. Let us know who you are.
Okay. Youngest of 5. My father was actually beaten with chains as a kid by his father. So oftentimes I was hit. I do remember the last time my dad balled up his fist and hit me. And I didn't go down, and it scared him to death. And what I remember telling him is, you do it again, I'll kill you. You get to that point. I was at the point of survival. Right. And in high school, even my first year of college, where I wasn't taking anything serious, I was just really trying to get out of the house. And that's when I was really, really heavy and more or less the booze, the alcohol. But then as I became a wrestler, you get into all the pain pills as well.
Right.
And so you're popping back then, the Percodan, the Percocets, Demerol, all that. And then on top of that, you have the steroids. And with the steroids, I mean, some people think we're joking. We actually took horse hormones. And so you get all that going on. And you get to that point in life where you go, okay, nothing's worked. And I'd been married 3 years, and my wife walked out with me at that time, walked out on me, which I don't blame her, to be honest with you. I don't blame her. And I found a positive pregnancy test in the trash can. And you want to talk about something that will sober you up really quick. It's for something like that to happen. In fact, I took it to my sister. I said, what is this? To make sure I wasn't trying to read anything into it. She said, it is a positive pregnancy test. Yeah, Rich, I'm sorry I had to call for a second. But anyway, as I said, that'll sober you up in a heartbeat. And so I tried to call for months. And the only thing I heard from a family member was that it was taken care of. And I know that I can assume a lot, by hearing those kind of words. But what I learned through those events was that I had to start realizing Mark wasn't right, and Mark was right, and the whole world was wrong. I had to realize, and it was hard to realize, but my ego had to get squashed, and I had to realize maybe a lot of this stuff about God and all this that people talk about, maybe they got something, and it's maybe I got to check it out. So I've been married for 33 years. We have 3 biological, 5 adopted, so we have 8 kids. We have 5 grandkids, and we have actually done concerts really across the country. Done a lot of different concerts, Christian concerts in the Tennessee, Georgia area, Florida area, and also a lot in Chicago, actually, believe it or not.
those people really enjoy to get down on God and get going in Chicago. And so anyway, it's been a blessing. We've just been where our story is one where we can't look and we don't want people to say, okay, Mark, it's just amazing what you did. It's not like that.
Right.
It's amazing what God did. It's amazing the people that God put in our lives. And so I have to say, yay, God. Yay, God. Give him the big thumbs up there because I am a bona fide screw up. And Rich, if you remember, when you and I talked the first time, I said, I know in this TV thing, I'm going to make mistakes. So I went ahead and apologized to you. You remember that? I said, I'm
Yeah.
going to go ahead and get all these apologies and I'm going to tell you a lot of them so I can get them in escrow. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But no, just to be on here with you today, it's great because you've got a powerful voice, your past and everything. You're the real deal. And for me, it's always awesome to be with someone that I can say, hey, they're the real deal. And you are, Rich.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you for even saying that. Well, Mark, listen, wait. It's time for you to do what I love to do. My favorite part of the show is when I tell you, time for you to get up on the soapbox. I'm
All
going to
right.
shoot some things at you, and this is where we get these soapbox points from you, and I get your essence, and get us sort of some snapshots of what you offer us. First thing,
Sure.
you said to me, God does not make junk. Expand on that for me.
Yeah, man. I think the world wants us to think that we are junk.
Okay.
I remember, what was it? Coke, it's the real thing. You remember the
Yeah.
slogan, right?
Yeah.
And have it your way at Burger King, I think is what it was. Have it your way.
Yes.
Everything was about the individual. And it's just life is more about, it's about a lot more than just us.
Yeah.
And we're raw. I wouldn't say we're junk, but we're raw in the beginning.
Yeah.
But we get refined and a lot of people, when they think of fire, they think of hell, they think of all these different things. But, fire is also a purifying agent.
True.
And fire can be used to mold. And sometimes the holes we dig, the fire we put ourselves in, that's what God turns around and uses. So we're never junk. We just have to say, okay, the gig's up, God. You got to do it now because I'm just a screw up.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Is that pretty plain spoken?
Yeah, but it's more than just true. It certainly is. You talked about letting us or getting us in the mindset of understanding how special we are.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Okay, sure. We all have different gifts.
Mhm.
Uh, I've been fortunate to hear people say on and off, Mark, we appreciate you this, but and they've said this kind of stuff, but really the most touching stories is that Rich, somebody is talking about you in a great way today, how you've touched their lives, and you may not know about it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, no, we're not junk, but you know what? There are things that we can all do to inspire someone else. And uh, I enjoy. I'll talk wrestling with somebody. I enjoy that, but I'm just so glad that I'm more than that now.
Okay.
And I see these guys that are literally, I'm not kidding, Rich. They're 80 years old, frail. I mean, it's not 1 foot on a banana peel. They got a foot, a hand, and the other one's on a chunk of ice. Okay, and
Yeah.
yet they're trying to identify with the only thing that they can identify with.
Right.
It's that they don't understand that there's so much more to them. And you
Right.
know, Rich, when we were talking the first time, addiction
Mhm.
can be a lot more than a drug.
Right.
And I mean, having been in the entertainment world and that kind of thing, there are some people that they either think they have to live a certain persona, or they they can't understand that it's okay to go through another stage in life.
Yeah.
And so they stay addicted to that. That crowd is a drug, or people hearing people cheer for them is a drug.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yes.
in the ring, we faced real pain. Those rings are not soft, by no means. And but there's more to life than just what happened. Than There's more to life than what just happens in that ring. You've got to
Right.
be able to walk away and use that ring as a tool to
Okay.
identify with
Mhm.
somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we all have things. And thank you for your service and all. That's something. I mean, Rich, you're a hero. Anyone that's ever put on that uniform is a hero.
Yeah.
You're an inspiration. And you've done a
Yeah.
heck of a lot more for this country than I have.
Well, I don't. I wouldn't say it like that. I
And
appreciate you saying that because I've known you for just a little. I've known you for just a little while, and you're you're doing some service yourself there. Okay. So don't. Hey,
just
you
remember,
done
my apologies are in escrow.
very very well understood. Very well understood, Mark. Mark, um, what's your recipe for finding peace?
Knowing that there's a God and you're not him.
Okay.
And I mean,
Uh-huh.
I probably come off, and I'm a hick. Okay. I'm a Georgia cracker. All right. That's where I was born, in Griffin, Georgia. And so, I have no problem saying that. And,
Yeah.
uh, but finding peace and so forth, really understanding that, uh, we can only do what we can do. I was talking to someone the other day, and they they just needed to talk to somebody,
Right.
but they wouldn't open up the door. And you can't bust through a door. So they have to open that and crack it a little bit for you to be able to get in. And of course, the door I'm using, as a symbol for the heart. But we can only do what we can do.
Right.
And there is a thing called forgiveness. And one of the biggest things, Rich, is that if we understand, and we should understand, that God forgives us, then number two is we need to understand that we can forgive others, and we ought to be able to forgive ourselves as well. We can't make ourselves a martyr. If we're so busy beating ourselves down, how are
Right.
we ever going to be able to pick someone else up?
Exactly. Exactly. I agree with you 100% there. That's true. Uh, just uh, having a sense of yourself. It's the old, it's the old adage, put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Well, that applies to this also. You need to have physical and spiritual self care in order to be of use or value to anyone else. And sometimes, we both run into people who kind of leave that part out and they're wondering why they don't feel as effective or they don't feel
Hmm.
like they're doing as much and they don't have that best view of themselves, and it skews up everything you're trying to do because being able to being able to help people or being able to lend yourself in service of any sort, you know, it's there's a little bit of selfishness to it because it's a good feeling, you know.
Well, it is a
Yeah.
good feel. But it helps when you have the perspective and understand that you couldn't even be in that position unless you
Right.
found a little grace in your life
Right.
and other people showed you grace.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
we're the picture that oftentimes used, and I know you're probably talking to me and people are hearing going, this guy actually went to college. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I did. Now I'll tell you, my first year of college, the one that I told you that I was drinking and everything,
Yeah.
no one has ever tried to fail as hard as me. And I got put on probation with a 1.11 GPA. I worked so hard to be stupid, Rich. I really did. In fact, they were willing to give me a scholarship for gas money if I would just leave the campus. I mean, really.
Okay,
So,
that 1.1
I
is an
mean,
accomplishment, Mark. I'll give you that. 1.1, that's an accomplishment.
nobody's been as good a screw up as me. All right. Anyway, but going back, the focus was different.
Okay.
I graduated with a 3.75.
Okay.
I had a 3.8 or 3.85 in grad school. And it was all because I knew what I was doing was bigger than me.
Okay.
And it don't be intimidated. But we've got to be able to let ourselves be restored. If we're a pitcher pouring out living water or water of encouragement to other people, we've got to be willing to understand that we got to get fed too. We got to get filled up too.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I feel like that's the one thing that a lot of people miss out on is it's so easy when you've been blessed a little bit. You got to be careful not to get a God complex. I mean,
Yes.
it really does happen with people.
Yes, it does.
And talking about peace and everything, when I said there's a God and I'm not him, man, that that takes the weight off my shoulders.
Exactly.
It's a lot easier to live that way.
Yeah. It
And
definitely is. I agree with you.
I just kind of let a compass that's in my heart, if it points toward I got peace about this, then I'm going to go for it. I mean,
Yeah.
this TV thing, man. I mean, I've bled on TV. I've got hit with chairs on TV.
Okay.
I've gotten um, body slammed by Sid Vicious, Terry Funk, Flair, all these guys. Um, why in the world would somebody like me I do a TV network. And when
Okay.
I told my wife, I was expecting her to tell me, Mark, you have absolutely lost your mind. Because I do hear that a lot. Okay.
Yeah. I know the feeling. Oh, I know the feeling.
But man, Rich, she didn't. And I said, whoa, whoa.
Mm-mm.
Learning about SDK apps and learning about Roku and learning about all this different kind of stuff. And I'm like, I didn't go to school for this. I, I, you know, um, I'm. It's hard for me to get up to the height of education in this to just to be able to say I don't know what I'm doing. And
Oh, yes. Yes.
but Rich, people like you. I mean, really, and you know, when we were sending messages back and forth in the very beginning, the one thing I said, if you've got any wisdom or if you see something that can make things better or easier, please, you're not going to offend me. Talk to
Yeah.
me.
Right.
And,
No.
you know, that when we became a family, Rich,
Yeah.
Empower TV is a family. I mean,
Yes.
it's amazing when anybody is hurt physically,
That's true.
psychologically,
Yes.
spiritually, whatever, that you start getting ton of messages.
Yes.
When it's
Yeah.
somebody else new has come into the family and they're going to have a show, they get hit with
Yeah.
so many hellos. Glad you're in the
Yes.
family.
Everybody's just so kind, and like you say, a family. Everybody pulls together, and that is that is for somebody like me. You say you do the show, it, and you'll agree with this. When
Hmm.
you step out to do something, it's an exercise in not knowing, for the most part. It's an exercise in not knowing, But I, like you, my whole goal and thought process was that I wanted to try to celebrate the people that were out there doing for people, because I've always admired, doesn't matter what the discipline was, I admired it. So when I first heard from you, I was like, we've got exactly the same mindset. So whatever he's doing, I want to be a part of it. Whatever it is, I want to be a
Well,
part of it. We've got the same
I,
mindset.
Rich, I figured when I contacted you the first time and we went back on a couple messages, I said, this guy's got to think I'm the biggest fool that ever walked the face of the
Oh
earth.
no.
He's got to think I'm crazy, you know?
No, 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 no. No, I appreciated where you were coming from with it, and and what you're trying to do. I appreciated it entirely.
Well,
Just want
thank
to
you. I
let you know
mean,
that.
and when we realize the breakdown in society is the breakdown with the family, I feel like one of the biggest ways that we can battle that is we come together and battle it as a family. So we're going to show people, and I'm just so thrilled with you and with so many because that term family, whenever somebody says it, it's not used in a light way. And I really believe, Rich, I really do. I think as people hear your background, I'd love to do your show and interview you. I would. I'd love it
Oh, that would
because
be
I think when everybody understands how much of the real deal you are, they're going to say, "Well, if Rich Jones can make these kind of steps in his life and he can make differences in people's lives, well, then you know what? Maybe there's some hope for me too." And that's what we're giving, Rich. Is we're giving hope. We're giving
that's it.
hope and a
That's it.
powerful message.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Mark, listen up. Before we go on, I just wanted to say to everybody, station break per se, but if you're a parent, mentor, or practitioner who loves or cares for a young adult at risk, currently in trouble, or in some type of rehabilitation, parenting your child in recovery.com is a non-clinical option that is built to accelerate and get the most out of your evidence-based treatment. So in the links, in the show links, we'll have something for families that are interested and also practitioners that are interested in partnering with us. Okay, Mark, this part I want to get to give you a chance to talk about MPowerMe TV. Some of the things that happened, how you thought about it, where you're at with it now, where we're at, because
Man,
hopefully a lot of our family will see you on this show. So tell us some of the
yeah.
inside of it.
Well, I mean, it started off that I was doing some content creation for a network. They called and asked me to help them do a Christian wrestling show. So I went and I wrote the whole thing out and found a good company of workers, and we did the storylines and everything. And it just happened that there was a bigger need. And so I had been on so many shows because of the book I wrote, Wrestling with Demons, that I saw so many people that had powerful voices. And it's the question that kept getting in coming into my mind was, these people need to be heard. Why aren't they being heard?
Mhm.
And we've got to go about this a different way. We're not going to make it driven by money that people are going to be charged to be on the air or whatever. We're going to try to work together, and uh, if we can sell an ad or two, we'd love to, but we did not make the money the number one thing.
Mhm.
And by a lot of the people, from a lot of the hosts I heard, they said, Mark, we've not heard nobody do this. And I thought, well, if there's going to be one weirdo in the crowd, it's going to be me. But the word family kept coming about because I see so many stations, Christian stations, and we have a very diverse society. But a lot of times on these stations, we don't see that much diversity.
Yeah.
You've got the white church and the black church, but where are people coming together? The Hispanic church, but where are people coming together?
Right.
And so it was like, okay, if we're going to help a hurting world, if we're going to give people an encouraging world, they've got to look on our station, our network, and see the same demographic of people than if they were to walk out their door or look out a window. And so it was okay, we're gonna take a risk. We're gonna do something that people haven't done. And I think we're probably close to 50-50 on minority and majority. Okay. Uh, and got people from all different walks of life.
Yeah, that's
And
obvious. That's comforting to see that it's a different spectrum of different people, and everybody's kind to each other, pulling together as a team.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one show, and it's kind of cool because it's I kind of well, I want to learn more about another culture because they call each other their queen. They're a couple ladies, right?
Mhm.
Well, look, being a white dude, I mean, if I hear queen, I'm thinking, oh, Elizabeth or somebody. You know what I mean? I mean, really,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Hey, Queen Latifah, she's done some good movies. Anyway, so you know, but so we need to understand the culture too. Just because we may have grown up in different surroundings, don't mean that number one we can't appreciate each other, and why can't we learn from each other too?
Exactly. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so you know, you're not gonna people are not gonna tune in, I mean, and see um, people with a ton of jewelry on, the big suit, the $1,000 suit, and their hair's been frosted and curled and everything. No, it's not that way. Um, Chef Chef Dennis Porterfield. He,
Yes.
when he comes when
Just
he
talked to
comes
him
in the
yesterday.
Oh yeah, did you? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
when he's doing his show, he's got his beanie on, his little hoodie beanie, um, his jacket because it's cold outside, and he's just coming in and he's just talking to you like he's your brother. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yes. It's a great thing, and I hope that it gets off and goes as well as I believe it can. Your leadership and vision on this thing is something that we all are thankful for. Believe me, and
Well,
I
Bubba.
know you're saying you saying you can't see, but I tell you what, you seem to have some vision to us, so we're appreciating
Well,
it.
I appreciate y'all. I mean, a
Yeah,
lot, and it's just to all the viewers. It's going to be different. You're going to see you're going to see people hosting a show that would be sitting in McDonald's if you go to McDonald's,
excellent.
or if you get
That's
on a
excellent.
subway or a bus or whatever, or you share a cab with somebody. It's going to be the same way. Nobody is putting on airs. There will be more shows that um, has more of a cultural taste than you would normally see on TV. They're still talking about Jesus, and it's all still family friendly. But my thought was with so many people, in society and they're being so different, we shouldn't be icing people out just because we're different than they are. We should
Right.
be not exclusive, we should be inclusive.
Inclusive. Most definitely. Most definitely.
So that's where this is coming from, Rich. And um, I don't know if a station's ever done this before. I mean, like this. I don't know. And people will either say, I guess, that, wow, everybody did such great work and this guy is a decent leader or whatever. Or they might say the guy didn't know what the heck he was doing. And I'll probably agree with them on that a little bit. but
Yes.
Hey, it's God's will. It's either going to do well or it's going to fall on its face. Main thing I got to do is make sure that, I focus on the family.
Exactly. It's going well. Mark, listen, I want to thank you for sitting down here and having this talk with me. I'm honored. I'm honored to be, just going along with your mission. It means a lot to me that you let me be involved, and I do appreciate the family because you are right in the way you've set it up. It's a group effort. That's the way you set it up. So I want to, from me to you, I want to say appreciation. From the rest of us, I want to say we appreciate it.
You're
so
awesome.
much.
Well,
So
I
much
love
so
y'all a lot. I can't wait and this is my hope, is to be able to come to like a central location so I can hug everybody's neck,
that'd
that
be great.
I was telling my wife, we're going to do a little traveling. We're going to get some of those $29 air flight deals, you say.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Very, very good. All right. Mark, thank you again.
Well, Rich, you're awesome. I love you, brother. You're my
Me
brother,
too.
and
Me
man,
too, my brother. No problem. Listen, from me and Mark, to everybody, remember, let's get out there and help somebody get better, help somebody stay better, and most importantly, let's help somebody be better. Thank you.
amen.